Hello and welcome, Align Tribe. I am Angie Love, an expert in the helping field of social work, and I am here to help people on their spiritual healing and personal development journeys. I am the spiritual sis, the gratitude goddess, the manifesting mystic, and the energy empress. Thank you all in advance for tuning in, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to follow along on this journey. And know that, as always, I'm so glad that you're here. You all, I have been on a hiatus because life been lifing and your girl is exhausted, and I had to take some time to pour into myself and actually practice the things that I be speaking about on a daily basis, right? So I took some time to disconnect and to tune into myself, and I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling pretty rejuvenated, so I'm back. And I am going to be recording 3 videos today, back to back. So bear with me. This first video is going to be a short video talking about how to use crystals. Have you all ever wondered about starting a crystal journey? I mean, using crystals these days is super popular. Now more than it was in like the previous like 3 decades, I would say. So I would like to share a bit of the things that I learned while on my crystal journey, just in case you're interested in starting one of your own. Crystals are super powerful. They're absolutely beautiful to look at, some more than others, but most of them, right? However, they harness such magnifying energy that can literally transform your life. So let's get into it. Let's start off with, what are crystals, right? So, crystals are usually objects from the earth or a combination of particles from outer worldly objects, such as meteorites, that create geometric atoms. Okay. So, without getting too scientific and technical, crystals are supercharged, healing, powerful rocks from the earth. And sometimes crystals such as moldavite, they actually occurred when a meteorite struck Earth. And so the particles from the materials from the meteorite, when it met the particles from the Earth, is what formulated that particular crystal. So things like that also occur to generate crystals. So when it comes to crystals, I often hear people talk about, I don't want to start a crystal journey because I don't really understand how to cleanse and how to charge them. It just all seems too much. It's really not. I can break it down for you all. So to cleanse and or charge your crystals, you can, one, run them under water, but you have to be very careful that you do the research on the particular crystal because some crystals cannot come into contact with water. Number two, you can also soak it in salt water. Again, do research on all of these methods because depending on the particles that make up that crystal, it may be a compound that that wouldn't do well in certain elements. You can also use the moonlight, right? You can charge your crystals under the moonlight. You can also charge your crystals under the sunlight, and you can smudge with, which smudging is just, it's a cleansing practice. Mostly Native Americans use it as ritual practices. And you can use sage, camphor, and or Palo Santo. I am trying to get out of using Palo Santo so much. I still use sage, but I'm very intentional about researching different ethical dilemmas behind the use of that because it does cause a scarcity with the Native Americans, the natives who actually use these practices and have always used them when they become popular and everybody's like buying up their products. We don't want to be culturally appropriating, but also I have Native American in my bloodline, so I'll be out here. So, but we're not going to get into my ancestry, DNA, and all of that. I really like camphor. I was informed by a medium a few months ago that camphor cleanses energy and sage magnifies the energy that is already within a space. So when people are opening up their windows and saging and things like that, it's not actually cleansing in the way that people think. That is what camphor is for. And camphor can be purchased on Amazon as an oil, as a tablet, and also in the form of incense. And I use the incense and the oil. I don't really use the tablets, but you can order those. Lastly, you can bury them in, well, not lastly, but you can bury them in the earth. I've never used this method. It just sounds like too much of a mess, but I have thought about burying crystals like right outside where I live because I live like on the first floor so I can look and see and make sure like nobody's digging up my crystals or whatever. But just the like idea of like worms and bugs and things like that touching my crystals and then me bringing them home into my home and rinsing them and using them, it disturbs me. So that is just one of the methods that I do not use, but to each their own. Do what resonates with you. Now, lastly, for real this time, you can place them on selenite. And I showed selenite in a previous video, but so this is my smoky quartz that I keep on my desk. It's grounding, it clears energy. And this is a selenite plate, a small selenite plate. And I have all sorts of selenite. Um, I have bowls, I have plates, I have one shaped like the moon, I have one shaped like the heart, I have big ones, I have little ones, I have like the strips, the kind of like the long rectangles where I place my crystals on. Very few of my crystals do not sit on selenite. I have selenite for most of my crystals. The only crystals that I don't sit on selenite are things like this because it has like a stand and it's huge. But I used to even take a selenite and I used to lean it against it to try to, cleanse it. Got to get creative. But crystals like this, difficult to put on selenite. So, but I try to keep my crystals on selenite and constantly cleansing them and charging them whenever I am not using them. So I'm always picking them up off selenite. So there is that. So next, you really want to set intentions with your crystals after you cleanse them and recharge them. And so setting intentions can really look like closing your eyes, holding your crystals in your hand, and just visualizing what it is that you want to use this crystal for, right? And just you just feel it, you embody it, you see it in your third eye. And you can also speak intentions over your crystal, but you want to make sure the crystal aligns with your intentions. For example, if you were using a crystal to align with abundance, success, prosperity, you will want to use a crystal like this citrine I have around my neck. This is also citrine, but this is like a citrine quartz, like a cluster. Gorgeous. So you would want to use a citrine or like a pyrite. I keep pyrite in my wallet because it's about success and abundance. You feel me? So it keeps the money flowing. And so I use pyrite for that. If I was doing like a self love or a love intention of any sort, I might use rose quartz or emerald or something of that sort. So you really want to make sure that you're using a crystal that aligns with your attention. With this being a smoky quartz, this crystal is meant to ground you, to offer purification and protection. So I might set the intention for this crystal to constantly cleanse energy and to protect me and my space, right? So I may just kind of close my eyes, visualize, hold this crystal in my hands, and just speak to the crystal and just say thank you for what you are about to do to protect my energy and my home space. Thank you for grounding me. Thank you for keeping me present in the moment, right? And that's the intention that you set with that crystal. So whenever you go to use that crystal, those are the intentions that you have placed into it. So it is important to cleanse and recharge your crystals prior to setting new intentions. Okay, so don't forget that part. So, when it comes to using crystals, just kind of like an everyday practice, what does that look like? So, you can hold them while you're meditating. I do that often when I meditate. There's very few times that I meditate and don't hold crystals. There's always crystals like on my lap. I will place them around me. I will place them in a crystal grid, which is something a little bit more complicated and complex. So we won't get into crystal grids in this video. But if that is something that you all are interested in and would like to hear more about, please comment below and let me know. And I can do a whole video on crystal grids by itself. So I love crystal grids. And so you can also you can place them on your body. I often lay down on the floor at least once or twice a week, or when I'm feeling like my energy is a bit stuck, and I will place the crystals on each of my 7 chakras. And I use crystals that specifically work with the energy of that specific chakra. So I kind of already have my crystals like in order on my coffee table from the root chakra to the crown chakra. So I can just grab one or two from each, chakra and just place them on my body. I lay on the floor and place them, and I might turn on meditation music, or I might just do it silently and just kind of allow the crystals to cleanse and kind of remove stuck energy within my body so things can flow the way that they're supposed to. I encourage people to carry their crystals with them. I have my crystals in my car. I have my crystals, like I said, in my wallet. They are in my bags, my purses. Whenever I fly, all of my carry-on luggage has crystals already in there, so I don't have to put them in there. I wear crystals often. No matter what jewelry, even if I don't have on crystal earrings, I have on at least a crystal necklace, crystal bracelets. I All of my rings, most not all, most of my rings are crystal rings. So every ring I have on today is a crystal. So like I wear my crystals as well because it's important for me to be able to protect my energy, to harness my energy, to stay grounded, and to be able to maximize the energy that I feel within my body um, to its greatest potential so that I can be the best version of myself each moment within my day. You can also place crystals around your home. As you can see, I have crystals. I have crystals everywhere. I have selenite towers over here by my printer. This is good to keep by your TV, your printer, your windows, to purify and cleanse the space, especially when you have electromagnetic waves coming off of different like technology devices and things of that sort. You can do research about where to place your crystals, or you can just use your own intuition and internal compass on what makes sense. For example, I like to keep protection crystals close to the door and windows just for my own sanity because in my mind it's protecting and guarding my home, right? I like to have, now mind you, I have crystals, multiple crystals all throughout my home, but I am very specific about having crystals that have to do with success, abundance, and wealth on my desk, the area where I do like my homework and where I work. And I also like to have crystals like rose quartz and emerald and different things that represent like beauty and self-love, like in my bathroom, in my bedroom, and things like that. So, and you want to keep crystals that purify your home in your living room, your kitchen, and your dining room because those are high traffic areas. If you're someone who has a lot of company, I do not because I don't play like that. But still, those are places where you want to keep. I have the most crystals in my living room and dining room. Only a little bit in my bathroom, a little bit in my room, a little bit in my kitchen. Mostly it's the living room and dining room. So you can definitely do that. And you can use your crystals for rituals such as new moon and full moon rituals. I do that during the new moon. That's a perfect time to manifest. So I will use my pyrite, my citrine, and I typically use my moldavite um, as well to manifest. And when it comes to full moons, those are typically for releasing, letting go, and purging. So I will use like black tourmaline and onyx and shungite and different crystals like that to kind of just like ground me and protect me while I am releasing different things that don't serve me during the full moon. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, Angie, you're telling me all of this information about crystals, but like, let's back all the way up. How do I select my crystal? Like, how do I get them? Right? You can order crystals offline. I do not recommend that you order crystals from Amazon. A lot of their crystals are fake. If you're going to order offline, order from a crystal shop in your local town or order from Etsy. I love ordering most of my crystals and all of my crystal jewelry mostly comes from Etsy. I like supporting small businesses, and I have received really high quality jewelry and crystals from Etsy. And some of it I pay a decent amount of money for, but a lot of it I don't, based on the quality. Because I visit crystal stores when I travel in the country and out of the country. So I have a good idea of prices based on the size of the crystal, the type of the crystal, and things of that sort. So typically, Etsy is very fair and they're gracious with their crystals and they're high quality. So when it comes to selecting your crystals, you can start off by writing down manifestations or intentions that you want to set or bring into your life. And then from there, you can research crystals that align with those manifestations or intentions. Okay. If you are completely new to buying crystals, I don't recommend you get your first one offline. I think it's a beautiful experience to interact with crystals. So, the experience of going to a crystal shop and holding the crystal, right? And allowing the crystal to choose you rather than you choosing the crystal, right? If you hold a crystal in your hand, you'll feel it and you'll know, like, "Oh, this is the crystal." Sometimes you just look at them and you're like, it's you for me. You're that crystal. You're the crystal for today, right? And so I have found that that is a very beautiful experience. I I order a lot of my crystals offline at this point in my crystal journey. I started my crystal journey around the time of my spiritual awakening in 2020. I have a crystal directory that I created, which is an Excel spreadsheet of all of my crystals. So I know what crystals I got. So when I go looking for my crystals and I call their name and I go to where they're supposed to be and they're not there, I know somebody to touch my crystals, right? And so I have over 100 crystals. My apartment literally is like a crystal show, a mini crystal show. Super cute. And I absolutely adore my crystals. I treat them like my little children or like my little babies. And I like will lay on my couch and watch movies and like place crystals in front of me or place them around me or I hold on to crystals like while I'm watching my shows or while I'm on the phone. Like I literally interact with them. I have favorites. You're not supposed to have favorites, but I do have favorites that I interact with almost daily. And then there are ones that I like don't interact with. They're just kind of like on the wall. They're just kind of like staple pieces. Um, but my favorites I interact with often. And so when you are holding a crystal in a crystal shop, sometimes you'll hold a crystal and you'll be like, I don't feel anything. Sometimes crystals are so strong, you will pick a crystal up and it would immediately start vibrating and pulsating in your hand, and you will feel it and you'll be like, oh, you are the chosen one. It's happened to me plenty of times. So that's a really exciting experience that I wish for you all if this is a journey that you hope to embark on. Another thing is you want to be open to losing your crystals and also to finding crystals. They say that when a crystal has served its purpose, you will lose it. I have lost a few crystals, not a lot, because a lot of my crystals do not leave my home. But I have lost crystal jewelry. I have lost crystals. And I am never sad about losing the crystal because that means that it did what it was supposed to do, honey. And it is supposed to find its next person who needs it to harness that energy. And I think that is a beautiful offering to provide to a stranger, wherever, right? Whomever. that is in need of some healing energy, right? So I'm never mad when I lose a crystal ever. If I'm so in love, like first of all, my favorite crystals, I have multiples. But if I'm really like, I love this crystal, I'll get a new one. But I'm never mad about losing a crystal. And whenever I find a crystal, I'm always excited. Always excited. Of course, make sure you cleanse those crystals that you find. Cleanse those crystals as soon as you bring them in your house. Don't let them sit for too long. Cleanse them. Every time I order a new crystal or I bring something into my home, I cleanse it almost immediately because energy be traveling, be mindful. So, real quick about finding crystals and losing crystals. That is how I chose my current apartment. I manifested my current apartment because I just didn't like my last one. It was not me. It was too small and it was just not updated enough. I manifested my new apartment and I'm apartment shopping, right? And first of all, I come to my apartment. I see it online first and I'm like, I love this apartment. I want to live here. I start to see it. I start ordering like furniture because I start like picturing. I start doing the 3D view of the apartment. And I'm like, this is going to go here. This is going to go here. I did all of it. And I get to the apartment viewing and on the microwave, I see 333. It's an angel number. My angels love talking to me. I'm listening. And if you know the energy of threes, it has everything to do with community, right? And so I immediately saw that as a sign from my spirit tribe. Like, this is where you can have community. Like, this is where you're supposed to be. So I saw that. Then we go outside, the rental agent and myself, and there's a crystal on the ground. It's like a crystal necklace. And I pick it up. And I don't find crystals often. I lose them, but I don't find them often. I picked it up. It was right outside the apartment building. And I said, I saw angel numbers and there's a crystal here. This is my new apartment. I handed it to the rental person, and because it wasn't like my style of jewelry, so I didn't want to keep it. I was like, somebody dropped this. I was like, and I'm going to take this apartment. I'll take it. And I'm so glad that I did because I love my new space. But, anyways, that's just a little story about how you can really be open to the signs of the universe, your angels, ancestors, spirit tribe, whomever you serve or whomever you're in community with, if you're in community with any of those entities. um, I think it's very beautiful to really think about, like, the wheel of fortune, like, life cycles and things of that sort. So nothing is ever really lost, right? And nothing is ever really found either, because it's just a cycle. And so be honored when you come into those cycles and pay attention, right? So thank you all for tuning in. I hope this information was helpful, and I hope that you all are excited about embarking on a crystal journey. I love it for you all. I really do, because I love it for me. So naturally, I love it for you all. Remember, the way to support this content is to like, share, comment, and subscribe so that you can follow along on this journey. And let me know what other topics you are interested in. You are so shy because I see the views and I see the likes, but and some of y'all do comment. Y'all be talking back to me, and thank y'all. I appreciate it. But if there is something that you're interested in, please let me know, because I'm a lifelong learner. So if I don't know much about it, honey, I will do research. I'm in a doctorate program. Research is my thing. I will find some information to share with you all, and I will dig and find multiple sources that are reputable to get back to you all. So let me know what you are interested in hearing more about. And as always, remember, love is the highest frequency. May you center it and align your life path to embrace it daily. Peace and love. Hello, Align Tribe. I am Angie Love, coming to you with a quick reminder to shop our Align. There are beautiful astrology planners that you do not want to miss out on. If you are interested in goal tracking or interested in manifesting specific goals or intentions and looking to use the energy of what has happened with the astrological planets during that specific time, these products are for you. The planners are gorgeous. They come in numerous colors, they're detailed, they talk about seasonal practices, new moon and full moon rituals, and so much more. There are also wall calendars, which I like to have both, that are detailed, and they also share the same information as the astrology planner, but not as detailed. These items, in addition to ritual kits, astrology tote bags, and crystal jewelry, are all available at our online shop. You do not want to miss out on these beautiful items. Go ahead and click the link below in the description box and shop our line.